Well, my name is Alexandra Moorshead. I run Moorshead&Associates. We're an award-winning event planning company working in Toronto. Most of the work that we do is working with not-for-profits, and we do everything from arts festivals to conferences to golf tournaments and fundraising dinners. I started about 20 years ago, actually, in the events industry when I was in university. So the first couple of years that I was in university, I was organizing large events. And by my third year, actually, I was organizing Brock University's Orientation Week program. From there, I came out of university, but I was working in a different field, and I kept finding myself organizing my company's events again and again, and that's when I started to realize this is what I should be doing, this is what I love to do. My parents, my grandparents, and my great-grandparents all owned their own businesses, so being a business owner really was natural for me to consider. And I guess it would have been back in 2006 or so, I was presented with an opportunity. I was working full-time with the Word on the Street Toronto, and the Word on the Street Canada, which is a separate organization, offered me a contract to run the national office, and it was a contract that would establish my business and give me consistent cash flow for my first couple of years of startup. So all of my other contracts that I took on actually were gravy for me. So that's how I started, and it was in the second bedroom of my home initially. And then a few years ago we moved into trendy Liberty Village in Toronto, and now we have a staff, and we're fully established at this point. We really spend a lot of time working on Excel spreadsheets and doing a lot of planning. Shortly we're going to be working with Megan's Walk, and that is a fundraising walk that happens. We start at Fort York and have people go up to Sick Kids Hospital. They circle around the hospital holding hands to create a hug. It's a very emotional event, and I love working with this organization. They're fabulous people. What else do we do? Well, we work with the Leacock Foundation actually, and they run educational programs, both here and in South Africa. And so we help them raise money. It's one of the top golf tournaments actually in Canada for the amount of money that it raises. We have, for every person that we invite to the event, we're raising over $2,500. I think at this point in the growth of our company, my role, the importance of my role is actually lessening a great deal. What's very important is that I hire the right people now. And I've been extremely lucky in that regard to bring on some very talented people. When someone is starting out in special events and they're curating an event for the first time, I always advise them to go ahead and I call it bag the elephant early. So you want to bring in that big name as early as you can, and putting the resources and the time and the thought into what is it that your event is going to do for this big elephant that you're bringing in will pay for itself. And I'll give you an example actually. So when I first started working for the Word on the Street Toronto, my first year, I was surprised at the quality of the authors that the organization was bringing in. They definitely were not up to where they could have been. And what we did in the second year that we ran the event for them is we put in a stage that was, it was 6 times larger than any stage we'd ever put in before. And we made a call out to David Suzuki, who had a book out at the time, and said, would you come? And we put together a whole package for him and made sure he was going to be treated like a VIP. We actually greened our whole festival to attract him to it. And I have other examples of that working with other clients where we bag that big name early and we leverage that to keep bringing in the kind of talent that we want. So at this point, actually, in Moorshead&Associates timeline, we're starting to develop our own events, and that's really exciting because previously we've always worked for clients, and now we are the client. So putting together our own events is actually very challenging because it gives us a level of freedom that we typically don't have, but also very exciting. So we're starting to develop our own brands, and one of them, for instance, is Ooh La La. It's a arts and crafts festival that we've put together, and we've just done one show so far, very successful, and we're just now planning our second one. So we're starting to move into that area. I'm very excited about the future.